The Biden administration has a pattern of abusing their power and getting struck down in court over and over again. As you know, I have significant concerns about your record, that you've demonstrated a hostility to conservative speech in particular, to Fox News in particular. And the FCC is a very dangerous place for a regulator to have the authority to silence political views with which you disagree. But we now have a second issue that implicates ethics that I think is deeply serious. You were a board member of the nonprofit Sports Fans Coalition, New York, which operated the low-cast streaming service. You joined the board knowing that they had been sued for copyright infringement. And a federal district court entered summary judgment for the plaintiffs that they had engaged in copyright infringement, that they had broken the law. Ultimately, the case was settled. And I've got to say, Ms. Sohn, the timing of the settlement stinks. Biden administration announced their intent to nominate you on October 26, 2021. The confidential settlement agreement was signed on October 27th, 2021, the day after the intent to nominate. Your actual nomination was made October 28th, the next day, and on that day, a public settlement was filed. The public settlement claimed that the plaintiffs, ABC, NBC, CBS, were going to be paid $32 million, that they had $32 million in damages. That was the public settlement announced on the day of your nomination. At the time is that the secret settlement cut $32 million down to $700,000. That's 2 cents on the dollar. I've litigated a lot of cases. I've settled a lot of cases. I don't recall ever settling a case that my clients had won, that we had a victorious court judgment for 2 cents on the dollar. But you know what? I've never had a case against someone who was about to be the regulator of my industry. On the face of that, that's a sweetheart deal. Did you disclose that sweetheart deal paid to the company on whose board you served, or rather, not paid from the company, that is essentially a gift from the companies the FCC regulate? Did you disclose to this committee that agreement?
I did. So, Senator, let me just explain first. I was not a party. There's no sweetheart. Number one, I was never financially liable from the day I stepped on the SFCNY board because there was a case narrowing agreement.
Did you disclose the agreement to this committee?
I did. I said the matter was settled.
No. Okay.
Let me explain.
Hold on a second. The matter was settled doesn't answer. Did you disclose the secret settlement agreement that settled it for $700,000, not the $32 million that was public? Did you disclose it to this committee? Yes or no?
I did. I did when
you disclosed the $700,000 secret settlement.
No, because I was not allowed. Okay. I was not permitted.
Ms. Sohn, that's actually incorrect. What provision of the agreement says you're not allowed to? All right, I have it in front of me. It's provision 6.0, and here's what it says. I'm going to quote it. Quote, no party will communicate or authorize anyone to contact or communicate with the media or press, orally or in writing or otherwise, concerning the agreement or the order. Last time I checked, the United States Senate is not the press. There's nothing in this agreement that prohibits you from disclosing it to the Senate. You did not disclose it to the Senate. Let me ask you this. Did you disclose it to the White House?
Well, again,
it's a yes or no. Did you disclose the $700,000 secret settlement to the White House?
No,
yes
I did not.
So you did not disclose it to the White House. The entire vetting they did, nobody asked about this?
I was vetted long before. Can I talk about the timing, Senator, if I may?
Sure.
Okay. The settlement, first of all, it's important. I was not a party to this settlement, and I can explain why I signed the settlement agreement if you want to talk about that. Okay?
You knew about it.
I was not a part. No, I was not a party.
Did you know about it?
Did I know about what?
The settlement, the secret settlement agreement, the 2 cents on the dollar, the $31 million that ABC, NBC, and CBS effectively gave away to the company on whose board you sat.
Of course I did.
The day you were nominated.
No. Okay, because I didn't sign it until after I was nominated.
Why does it matter when you signed it.
If you
knew about it and you didn't disclose it to this committee.
Yes, I did, okay? Let me just step back for a second, okay? Can we talk about the timing? Because you're wrong on the timing, okay? There was a term sheet, an enforceable term sheet that I did not sign that lays out.
Which date that I said is wrong?
That was October 12th, okay? And that's referred to in the settlement agreement. If you look at the very beginning of the settlement agreement.
Okay, so you knew about the sweetheart deal 2 weeks earlier, fine. That doesn't change the timing of.
There's no sweetheart deal. I don't benefit.
Cents on the dollar is not a sweetheart deal?
I don't benefit, but it's not a sweetheart deal as to me. It's not. First of all, it's a settlement, right? So you've got these 4 powerful networks up against a tiny little nonprofit.
And by the way, it's
okay,
striking.
so,
the one network that didn't sign the agreement was Fox News. Fox News also happens to be the network that you've shown incredible animus towards. I got to say, I've been in the Senate 10 years now. I've never seen a nominee for any regulatory board who, at the exact moment of her nomination, saw the companies that would be regulated by her effectively give a $31 million, $300,000 gift to a company on whose board she sits. That is truly stunning, and it's disturbing.
Senator, respectfully, I'd like to explain.
Sure.
The judge, first of all, Locast was not found to have infringed copyright. They were found to only have not qualified for the congressionally mandated nonprofit exemption. Okay, so the judge did not say, Judge Stanton did not say that Locast violated copyright. It did not impose any liability, and it did not impose a $32 million judgment, okay?
Is this accurate from what was publicly filed? Quote, plaintiffs are awarded statutory damages under the Copyright Act against sports fans in New York in the amount of $32 million. That's what was publicly announced, and then the private secret agreement it was reduced to $700,000.
Senator, let me explain.
I have to